Have you ever had personal accolades that drew some type of resentment from your friends and family? Well, that's what today's story is about, and I'm going to teach you about these words and some other words in today's B-2 English story. You can shadow my reading as I will put the story down in the description. Well, hello, my name is Jay, and welcome to another episode of Parlay with Jay, where I have the opportunity to help you to improve your English comprehension, vocabulary, and fluency through English stories. So let's get ready for a little bit of learning and laughter, and let's dive into today's story. Dexter was a remarkable student. Someone that is remarkable is an excellent student, okay? Now, a person can make remarks. So if you ask me something and I give you feedback or I give you comments or remarks, that's different from remarkable. If I had a nice car and you ask, how's that new car going, Jay? Oh, it's remarkable. It's extraordinary. In 8th grade, he had already received several accolades for his science projects and his impressive skills in the school's robotics club. An accolade is admiration from other people, praise. People give you a pat on the back. They celebrate you for something that you have done very well or something that is above standard. His latest achievement was winning the regional science fair, which meant he would go on to compete at the state level. While many classmates offered congratulations, Dexter noticed a distinct coolness from his two closest friends, Marcus and Jaden. Distinct. Something that is distinct is an obvious or noticeable change or difference. When you compare two or more different things or people, you notice that there is a separation between those objects. So you might say there is a distinct difference or a distinction between a cat and a dog. I like to travel, but I distinctly only use airplanes and not a bus. There is a distinct difference. At first, Dexter tried to ignore the sullen moods. He understood that they might feel a little disappointed in their performances. However, their behavior became increasingly particular. They started whispering when he approached, and during robotics club, their suggestions seemed intentionally designed to sabotage his work. Dexter's apprehension grew with each passing day. So when someone has a sullen mood, it says that they are irritated by you. Your success, your achievements is making them feel a bit uncomfortable. And that happens in life, usually when people are, as we say, green with envy. Okay? Sometimes people get a little reserved or quiet, ill towards you. It's not always because they are jealous. Sometimes it could be because they're jealous, or sometimes it just could be their personality. But when people make sudden changes, they have a sullen mood concerning you. Okay? When someone sabotages your work, they're trying to do harm to you. Okay? They're deliberately trying to destroy or damage or hinder your progress. Sabotage. And remember, Dexter became increasingly peculiar concerning how they were acting. So when you recognize someone becoming peculiar, you're noticing that somebody's acting a little odd, strange, different than the norm. One afternoon, while Dexter was working late in the science lab, he overheard Marcus and Jaden talking outside the door. Their words were hushed but filled with a bitterness that made Dexter's stomach clench. Oh, he was getting upset. Oh, his stomach clenched. He was probably getting very, very angry and upset. He could hear Jaden saying, "It's just not fair. He always gets all the attention." Sounds like a hater. Marcus replied, his voice laced with resentment. "Yeah, he acts like it's nothing. We need to teach him a lesson." Dexter felt a shiver of fear. Their words were a clear omen of something bad. So when a person has resentment, it's basically displeasure, anger, because they feel like they're being mistreated. Okay, it's not good to bear resentment against others. I feel those type feelings sometimes, but you don't need to let them remain there. You just have to realize sometimes people are just better than you are. It's always someone that's better. It's always somebody that's has more acclaim, has more money, more prestige. That's just life. But if you really examine it and you are grateful and appreciative, you'll realize that someone wished they could be in your shoes. Okay? An omen, a clear omen of something bad. So an omen, when someone feels as if they have a sign of something dangerous to come. An omen. We're almost done. The state science fair was only a week away. Dexter started noticing small, unsettling things. His project materials would be slightly out of place. Oh, that's low down. Or a crucial piece of equipment would mysteriously malfunction. He tried to talk to Marcus and Jaden, but they would either avoid him or offer vague denials. The tension among them was thick and uncomfortable. Vague, okay? Something is unclear or obscure, all right? So you can read something that's vague, or a person can answer you in a vague way. So you may ask, "What did you do last night?" And I brush you off by giving a vague answer. I said, not too much. So what am I doing? I'm telling you I did something, but I'm just being vague. I'm not being clear about what I did. I don't want you to know my business. The night before the competition, Dexter stayed up late, double checking everything. He had a premonition that something was wrong. He packed his project. As he packed his project, he noticed a small wire critical for his robot's function was missing. Panic started to set in. Boy, that's low down. He searched frantically, but couldn't find it. Then he noticed a note tucked under his toolbox. It was unsigned, but the handwriting was unmistakably Marcus's. It read, "Maybe now you won't be so perfect." Oh, that's dirty. That's like someone calling you, leaving a message, but won't tell you who they are. Or someone doing like Marcus did, writing you a letter of disgust, but not signing their name on it. Oh, I know he was furious. A wave of hurt and anger washed over Dexter. He felt betrayed by his friend's jealousy, but then a sense of determination sparked within him. He wouldn't let their actions defeat him. That's right. He spent the rest of the night improvising, using spare parts and his knowledge to find a workaround. The next day, despite the setback, Dexter presented his project with confidence. He didn't win, but he earned praise for his problem-solving skills and resilience. More importantly, he understood a valuable lesson. True friendship isn't about accolades or competition, but about support and trust. Boy, sometimes in life, we go through difficult things in relationships, and often there's a lesson to be learned. Sometimes it's not about winning or coming out on top like Dexter, but it's about learning about yourself and who your true friends are. Isn't it wonderful that Dexter didn't allow the childishness of his peers to affect his productivity? And that's a sign of maturity, when you can allow what other people do not to affect you. You are a mature person, or as we say, you are acting like the bigger person. So we've talked about and discussed accolades, distinct, sullen, particular, sabotage, resentment, omen, vague, and I have 2 more vocabulary words that I didn't review that you can get from the notes if you would like them. The link is down in the description. Well, that's going to do it. I want to encourage you to go back and listen to today's lesson again. Follow me along as I read and explain the vocabulary words in the story that you can find down in the description. And if you have enjoyed today's English lesson, be sure to share it with a friend. Until next time, hopefully the dogs won't be barking. I hope you join me on my next English lesson. I'll see you then.